Um, so I'm introducing you to my tool today called MFractor, which I've been building for a while. I did a prototype demonstration maybe back in September, just for some proof of concept of some things I was trying to fix in Xamarin Studio specifically for Android. Yeah, so I'm Matt. I've been working with Xamarin for about 3 years now. I'm normally climbing if I'm not coding stuff. And I work at Java doing the mobile stuff. Yeah, so nice to meet everyone. Who here does iOS? Android? And of those guys, do you do native Android, Xamarin Android, Forms?
Both.
Native? Cool. Alright. Just interested in seeing what people are working in. Yeah, so basically, the MFractor is a productivity tool for Xamarin Android, and hopefully it's going to save you a lot of work when I finally get it out into people's hands. And the best way of showing you what it does really is by showing you what it does. So if you're familiar with Xamarin Studio and Android, kind of aware it's a pain in the ass to navigate between resources. So one of the first things that it does is link the two. So it'll tell you what IDs point to. Basically, anything that is a resource gets indexed, and it associates all the links. So you can jump to its location. It does like a view through to show you the values of it. Everything gets indexed into the global search bar. So if you want to search for a button, for instance, you can jump straight to it. So that's a bit of a contrived example. But if you're in a large project, like just have to find it, sorry. Can't find it. Oh, there it is. So the API demo is one of the Xamarin Android samples, which is ported from Google. And it's basically enormous. So it's a fairly good example of what better navigation does.
So Matt, just to jump back a step. So
yep.
it's basically an IDE add-in that works with like ReSharper.
Yeah, pretty much.
For the Xamarin
yeah,
Studio.
Specifically for Xamarin Studio and the resource structure at the moment of the Xamarin Android. So so you can browse between values. So jump to wherever they're declared. What else? There's also auto-completion on all resources now, alongside documentation. So if you want to write in your resources, everything gets auto-suggested. And resources that have type constraints are now type safe. So yeah. Well, it's a like a resource definition of a Boolean. But for instance, if you want to set a property on an item, such as this check flag, it can suggest it for you, as well as autocomplete it. So, yeah. Same with keywords. So typically, none of this stuff is in IDE by default. So yeah, it suggests in pretty much everything in the SDK you can use in that context. And one of the newer features is static analysis on resources if it works. I was having some trouble with it today. been a bit flaky at the moment. Yeah, anyway, so that's the basic idea of it. Yeah, so for instance, title says it expects a string, so if you try to give it a color, it should complain.
And likewise, it wouldn't find actually
Yeah, yeah, but it's not working at the moment.
So, do you have the tools namespace support as well?
No, I can add it. If you want to talk to me and tell me some stuff you want to see, that would be awesome.
Yeah, especially like with doing views,
Yeah.
having the ability to say like if something's hidden and it's only shown by code, having the tool namespace where I can go when I'm a designer, I want to be able to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
So like error kind of labels underneath input fields.
Yeah.
Is a really common one that I use.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. But this, like, I want to hear this stuff because I'm trying to fix it. So,
yeah.
Cool. Sweet. One of the next things that I'm doing is refactoring support. So I'm waiting for them to integrate Roslyn before I do this because I don't want to use it. MFractor is the current type system, and I don't want to spend time building into it if it's going to get deprecated and my code goes away.
So you should be able to get the Roslyn with the Xamarin preview.
Yeah, but I'm lazy. So one of the first things that I'm, like, just as a proof of concept, was through editing. So you can edit the value in line. So and it will apply it. Yeah, it's flaky. But anyway, it applies the new string value. So any resource expression you can do through editing basically now. And eventually I want to be able to extract dimensions, integers, boolean, strings, refactor names. Yeah, so that's the current state of it. So resource order completion, type safety for all resources, and then edit documentation of static analysis, which broke then of course. Issue fixing, so if a static analysis routine detects an issue, you can only right click and fix it straight away. Yeah, and then better navigations, declaration, search, and refactoring operations now. And within the next 12 months, I'm planning on doing refactoring support and adding type system information for layouts, final references, and then after that I'll start doing C# static analysis. So things like context leaks, UI thread invokes, things like that. If you want to use it, and I would love for you to use it and tell me what's wrong with it, you can go to the website, so there's just MFractor.com. Or the easy way now is to just go straight into the IDE, and provided you've got the add-in manager configured properly, which it should if you install it by default, the Xamarin Studio default add-in repository will contain an installer for it. So if you go into IDE extensions and then MFractor.installer, that'll automatically download it for you and install it, and then install the update URL as well. And it should just work. If it doesn't, tell me. Yep.
So are you planning to also do like linking support, where you do like the validation of like enough support and the version?
Yep. So I'm planning on working through all of Went's errors that they detect and adding them into this analysis routine. Yeah. Is anyone have any questions?